And it is my honor now to introduce Amy and Andrew Gruber, who you may have seen on WCCO News just a few weeks ago. Their beloved infant son Theo came to Crescent Cove for end-of-life care this past Labor Day weekend. Please welcome Amy and Andrew.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Amy Gruber, and this is my husband, Andrew. And tonight we'd like to share the story of our son, Theo, and his experience at Crescent Cove this fall. Theo was born in July with a severe form of epidermolysis bullosa, or EB, which is an impossible, rare genetic condition that causes skin to blister and tear with the slightest friction. When he was born, he looked like a normal, beautiful, healthy baby boy, except for a patch of missing skin on his wrist. But as his life progressed, he developed blisters all over his body, and in his last few days, he essentially didn't have skin from the chest down and began to internally blister as well. As Theo declined and we began to realize what was happening, our wonderful palliative care physician, Dr. Lon, walked us through options to consider, and one of them was Crescent Cove. We originally took a tour to learn about both their respite and end-of-life services, but things progressed so quickly that 4 days later on September 1st, we came to Crescent Cove to spend Theo's final days. When Theo was born, we were immediately thrust into the role of caregivers because EB requires hours of bandage changes, bathing, ointment application, and pain medications every day. Going to Crescent Cove allowed us to be Theo's parents for the first time, and we were able to focus on making memories with our family. Theo enjoyed his first boat ride with his sister, and he slid down the slide at the playground. He ran the bases at Dragonfly Field and watched the sunset over the lake every evening. The nurses, staff, and volunteers cared for us in such a loving, patient way, making us endless pots of coffee and delicious meals that included a 2 a.m. German pancake. The music therapist recorded his heartbeat, so we forever have a memory of how strong Theo was. Our 5th wedding anniversary was September 2nd, and while we weren't planning on celebrating, the staff created a wonderful date night for us in the house, pushing the furniture together, illuminating flameless candles, and brought us Dairy Queen blizzards, which we enjoyed while watching Theo's first Disney movie, Finding Nemo. Another night, 2 of his nurses lovingly gave Theo a bath so peaceful that he fell asleep for an hour while simply floating. We read him countless books, talked to him endlessly, cried frequently, and sometimes even laughed, sharing the joy of his life with our friends, family, and his care team. Everyone at Crescent Cove brought such comfort to us and to Theo, and we were free to give him all of our love until he took his last breath peacefully in my arms while I sang Beautiful Savior. Even in the weeks after Theo passed, Crescent Cove continued to support us. We received letters from Theo's nurses thanking us for the honor of caring for him. Pam hand-delivered prints of Theo's hands and feet beautifully framed and personalized by their artist. And later they sent us a dragonfly window charm with Theo's name that currently hangs in our kitchen. When we visited for the first time a few weeks after he passed, the whole staff, Katie, nurses, and volunteers stopped what they were doing so that they could participate in an impromptu memorial service to honor Theo and share memories from his time there. Even just last week, Pam called me and asked what else Crescent Cove can do for our family. Children with EB are often known as the butterfly children because their skin is so fragile like a butterfly's wing. We made special butterfly rocks to keep Theo's memory alive and allow him to travel the world with his loved ones. Since September, Theo has been to 4 continents, 8 countries, and 11 states. We'd like to share this idea with you in the form of a dragonfly rock so that you remember Crescent Cove and what it means for the families they serve. Andrew and I made one for each of you at your table to remember Theo and the Crescent Cove families like ours.
When we came to Crescent Cove, we were told our stay would be completely taken care of. We were grateful, and we didn't know how this was possible, but our focus at the time was only on Theo. On the second day of our stay, I remember walking down the hallway back to our room and pausing to read the names on the wall plaque that recognized some of the major donors. I remember being moved to tears by the generosity of those strangers who didn't know us or our son, but cared so much for him and those like him that they made this experience possible. This was really profound for me, for in the midst of grieving the impending death of my son, I could still feel incredible gratitude. I stopped at that plaque every day to read the names again. And after today, it's no longer gratitude for strangers. We're here today to say thank you, and we're here today to join you in supporting this incredible organization, and for all the sons and daughters whose lives and memories will be forever brighter because of you. There's no way that what we experienced at Crescent Cove could ever be replicated in a hospital, at home, or anywhere else. There's such love, purpose, and skill within everyone at Crescent Cove. And we wish that no parent ever has to go through the pain of losing their child, but we are forever grateful for the memories, comfort, and peace they brought to us and Theo during what is undoubtedly the most difficult period of our lives. Thank you.